Hello, and welcome to this first lecture of this new section on winning business strategy in this course on strategy formulation, modeling, and planning for the business. So, in this section, what we're going to do is to help you understand in depth the concept of winning business strategy. After having looked at business strategy, model, and plan in the last section, we will explore what does this really mean to have a winning business strategy that can help you formulate a winning business strategy, model, and plan. And in this lecture, what we're going to do is, in this section, we're going to do two things. One is to talk about what is a winning business strategy, which we will do in this lecture. And in the subsequent lecture, we will apply that to see whether the J&J Consumer India business strategy is a winning business strategy. Right. So, what do you think is a winning business strategy? Any thoughts? Okay. So, winning business strategy is the business strategy that you see in the center, talked about those goals, the operating policies, etc., that aligns the factors internal to the company to the factor external to the company. It's all about being in sync with the external environment here. What you do inside, what you have inside, being aligned to the external factors. And in the external factors, we are talking about two broad things. One is the short, little closer to you is the industry, and the little more broader societal expectation. And what needs to be aligned is obviously through the policies and goals that you set based on your company's strengths and weaknesses, personal values of the key implementers. So these four factors needs to be aligned to each other. Five factors to be precise. The winning business strategy needs to be aligned to company's strengths and weaknesses, industry opportunities and threats, broader external expectations of the society, and personal values of the key implementer. And hence, the strategy that is based on, as you see in the center, the goals, the product, the target markets, etc., all those goals and operating policy, that is based on these four factors of internally to the company's strengths and weaknesses and personal values of the key implementer, and externally the industry opportunity and threats and broader societal expectation would tend to be a winning business strategy. So, winning business strategy is a strategy at the broadest level. Involves consideration of four key factors that we talked about that determines the extent to which you can be successful. Let's look at the company's strengths and weaknesses are your assets and skills relative to your competitors, the selected, chosen competitors over which you want to win, including financial resources, technology, brand identification, etc. And in the formulation process, we will see how to find out those factors on which you need to have the strengths. The personal value of the organizations are the motivation and needs of the key executives and other personnel who will implement the chosen policies, because you might have a wonderful, great winning business strategy, but if it is not aligned to the personal value of the organization of the people that are going to implement it, it's not going to happen. The strengths and weaknesses combined with the values determine the internal limits of winning business strategy that you can successfully adopt. So your strengths and weaknesses and the values determine how far can you go in winning in the marketplace. The external limits are determined by the industry and the broader environment. And the industry, the limit comes through opportunity and threats define the competitive environment in which the company will try and achieve its goals, is attended with the risk and potential rewards. So the industry opportunity and threats define the external environment in which you have the risk and potential rewards. Broader societal expectations reflect the impact on the company of such things as government policies, social concerns, evolving norms in the society, etc., and determine how far can you be successful there. So it is these four factors that determine, and to reiterate, how more successful can you be. The external limit of that is the industry and the broader environment, and the internal limit is determined by the values and the strengths and weaknesses of the company. So how can you test if you have, so you develop a business strategy that consists of the goals, the objectives, the key competitive strategy, product lines, markets, etc., etc., etc. How can you test if that is your winning business strategy? Any thoughts? You can determine if your business strategies really make you outperform your competitors by testing for the following. There are 4 things to test. One, you need to test for internal consistency. Are your goals mutually achievable? Are you setting goals that are not so contrary to each other that achieving one will jeopardize achieving the other? Are your key operating policies that you have address the goals, or are they addressing something else, or goals are not being addressed at all? Or do the operating policies reinforce each other, or they are like working against each other? So more they reinforce each other, more your business strategy, more internal consistency you have, and more your business strategy is going to be a winning business strategy. Since you need to have your internal factors aligned to the environment, so the next set of questions to check is how much do you fit with the environment? Do goals and policies exploit industry opportunities? Are you, to the extent possible, mitigating the industry threats with the available resources that you have? Are your timing of goals and policy reflect the ability to environment to absorb the actions? So if you are ahead of time, or are you too behind a time? There are many times companies who have brilliant strategies, but they're way ahead of time of the environment. And I personally have gone through such experiences. The J&J, we launched Johnson's Baby Bath when I was a marketing director. And that was quite ahead of its time, and consumers were not ready. The environment wasn't ready, and we had to kind of roll back. Similarly, are the policies and goals responsive to the broader societal concern? If there is a concern in the society about something, are you addressing that, or are you not addressing that? And that kind of determines how much. So these 4 questions determine how well do you fit with the environment. The next set of questions is about how are your resource fit? How is your resource fit? So the question to ask that is, do the goals and policies match the resources available? Are you setting up goals and policies that is based on your real resources relative to your competitors? And is the timing of goals and policy reflect the organization ability to change? Are you setting up goals that are in line with your ability to change based on your resources available? Are you taking on too much that you can't manage? The last set of questions is about communication and implementation. Are your goals well understood by the key implementers? The key people that you're going to implement the goals, do they understand? Are they committed to these goals and policies? And is there a sufficient managerial leadership capabilities for effective implementation? So if you ask these questions, you can check how well is your business strategy in line, aligning the internal with external and mutually. And then you can see whether your strategy is a winning business strategy. So what do we do in the next module? In the next module, we have been defined the J&J India consumer business strategy. And in this next module, we will apply these questions to check if the J&J consumer India business strategy is a winning one. So thank you so much for watching the first lecture of winning business strategy on this course on business strategy formulation, modeling and planning. I hope you continue to learn something new, continue to enjoy, and I look forward to see you again in the next lecture.